The rostrum, Speaker's rostrum in the House of Representatives, a son of Massachusetts is quoted, Mr. Webster, and he asks that each member of the House assess in their time, did they do something worthwhile?
I think we should follow the
I would submit to you today, after 3 decades in the House of Representatives, that this is amongst the most important undertaking that any of us could possibly be challenged by. This is a substantial issue across the country. A reminder that you can outlive annuities, but you can't outlive Social Security. We all subscribe to the idea that retirement's supposed to be a 3-legged stool, plan set up by the employer, at the same time the guarantee of Social Security and some personal savings. And you consider that the average Social Security benefit now is about $1,400 a month, $1,400 a month. And when you look at what's happening to some of these plans as proposed for the multi-employers, and incidentally, this is not just a union issue. The bill that Mr. Brown and I have put together, which I've discussed with Secretary Mnuchin, there's an understanding here. 10 Republicans in the House of Representatives have signed on to this legislation. And I think that there would be more that will sign on based on the conversations we've had as we've courted them. When you consider that somebody at the age of 65 to 75 or maybe 80 years old is all of a sudden being told that their entire pension plan is near elimination, after they've planned for a lifetime. It's one thing for a pension plan to fail for somebody who might be in their 20s. It's quite another to have the plan fail for somebody who's in their 70s or their 80s. Where do they go to make it up? They took a lower salary during many of those years for the purpose of guaranteeing what retirement might look like. And we have a chance to put together a workable plan based on goodwill and, by the way, some of the good work that you've done, Mr. Chairman, over the years on this.
Well, thank you.
And in addition, I'd like to highlight something else that I think that bears noting here. I was here for the S&Ls. I wasn't here to help create the problem, but I was here for the solution, and it was pretty painful. And when you look at what happened with the S&Ls, that came down to a bailout. My plan, Mr. Brown's plan, is not a bailout. We simply asked the federal government to backstop the risk. And I will say that Secretary Mnuchin had an open mind during the almost 45-minute conversation. So I was here during the Wall Street collapse, when overnight we came to the aid of people on Wall Street. And in the end, what we're asking here to do is to undertake seriously, and I think you set the right tone in your opening comments, Mr. Chairman, as did Senator Brown, with the suggestion that it's important here to listen as well as talk. I was tasked with this responsibility. I've worked closely with many of the people in the audience here, and I must tell you that right now the uncertainty for people and their pensions is going to continue to roil the electoral place across the country as well. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I would yield back the balance of my time.